Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike McMahon. I am of counsel to the law firm of Herrick Feinstein, and I've been that since April. Prior to this station in my life, I was a member of the United States House of Representatives, the United States Congress, the lower body. And before that, and perhaps more relevant to this morning's discussion, I was a member of the New York City Council for 8 years. In both instances, I represented Staten Island and parts of Brooklyn. I'm glad we're here in New York having this discussion. As you see how things have been going in Washington lately, I'm glad you're not all down in Washington trying to resolve the issues of the world, because things are moving a little slowly down there, and I'm glad this isn't a budget conference, but rather talking about domain names. I think the perspective I bring to this discussion is how government looks at this and how important it is for the operations of the City of New York to have effective and working domain names. And as you know, the City of New York has taken the lead, I think, certainly in American cities and certainly in government institutions throughout our nation, in making sure that people have access not only to the internet through Wi-Fi and other ways. And the domain name .nyc is, of course, very important to the City of New York. The City Council, under the leadership of Christine Quinn, the Speaker, and Gail Brewer, is a councilwoman from the west side of Manhattan, who for about 7 years headed up the Committee on Technology, made sure that the city got ahead of the curve, or kept up on the curve with this. An RFP was issued by the City of New York last fall to establish a company that would manage the domain name .nyc, and that is in place, and I think it's just waiting for ICANN to move forward, and that will be in place. So the City of New York is basically ready to do this as much as possible, waiting for the new parameters. The City of New York, everything from the moving of garbage to the moving of people to delivery of water services, education services, has really become, under the Bloomberg administration and the City Council, which I was part of, using the internet as a tool to do those things and to interact with its citizens. We went from a system of paper system in 2000 to 311, telephonically to 311.gov, to the internet, and now this is all being managed. So the use of that name, the protection of that name, the marketing of that name, of the domain that relates to the City of New York is so important to its operations. I certainly am no computer expert or no internet expert. That's why I'm a politician and now a lawyer, because I don't have the technical side. But I do know that, and when I was in the council, I oversaw the Department of Sanitation, and so that is so important to the city, to maintaining the delivery of services and for the marketing of the City of New York. And I think you're all aware of that from either the technical side or the marketing side, and what it means to protect that name that is so important for the City of New York. I think other than that, there's little I can add more to the discussion than to say that the City of New York is very aware and is working very actively to make sure that that name is protected and is used immediately when possible.
Great, thanks so much.